looks like the sun decided to come out today. And apparently the hard drive arrived, but I missed the shipment, so I gotta go pick it up today. It's not the one with the data and stuff like that. I still don't know the results, but it'll be nice to have, I guess, that 16 terabyte drive again, because again, running out of space. And what I read today, this one was actually really fascinating. You've recently read how in India they're going to ban drone imports because they want to promote domestic growth, and with a lot of people, I guess, encouraging over-the-top regulations, how about them? Apparently they're going to get rid of things like a drone pilot license. This one says, government scraps requirement for drone pilot license. The Civil Aviation Ministry on Friday scrapped the requirement of drone pilot license for operating drones in the country. The remote pilot certificate issued by a DGCA-approved drone school through the single-window digital sky platform shall be sufficient for operating a drone in India, according to an official. The official also said that no remote pilot certificate shall be required for operating a drone up to 2 kilograms for non-commercial purposes. So that's kind of interesting, where at first you would think it would increase, I guess, the ability for people to fly the drone without as much barriers. But if it does say that you still need to get like a certificate from a drone school, there's still, I guess, the monetary aspect in that regards, assuming they charge like what, hundreds of dollars and stuff like that. And it says a notification amending drone rules has been issued by the ministry, and the requirement of the drone pilot license has been abolished with the effect from February 11th. The latest move comes days after the government banned import of drones with certain exceptions as part of efforts to promote domestic manufacturing of drones in the country. So it's actually really interesting to think about. They're really serious in becoming, I guess, a leader in the industry, but with the ban of the import of drones and all that, and the talk of things like drone schools, a lot of people actually can't fly anything other than, let's just say, a DJI drone because it's GPS assisted. You give them something like literally like a toy, for example, that'll go everywhere and you need to maneuver it, they'll crash it in a couple of seconds. So basically wonder how that would work in that aspect if nobody can buy the more established drones in the market currently. For example, like a DJI, an Autel, or let's just say even like a Skydio drone. So would you think this benefits, let's just say, a recreational flyer overall? Because there is still that little stipulation that's so vague. For example, non-commercial purposes, and some people consider anything commercial purpose. For example, just publishing a video online, showing it to friends and family. Some people would say, oh, that's commercial work, you're promoting yourself, which is kind of silly. But yeah, what would you think overall? Do you think it's good, I guess, for them in general in terms of growth, and do you think it's good for, say, someone flying a drone for fun? And I personally thought this news was a little crazy. It deals with that topic again in Canada that's really big about the truck drivers and that Freedom Convoy, and you can see people were crowdfunding them like crazy still because they believe in the cause, I suppose you could say. But as a result of that, just recently, I guess the government started to freeze the account, at least like here in Canada law-wise. It says Ontario court freezes access to funds raised for protest convoy on GiveSendGo platform. What is going on, huh? It says the Ontario Superior Court of Justice has granted a request from the provincial government to freeze access to millions of dollars donated through online fundraising platform GiveSendGo to the truckers convoy protesting COVID-19 restrictions in Ottawa and at several border crossings. A statement from Premier Doug Ford's office on Thursday said Attorney General Doug Downey brought the application for order under Section 490.8 of the Criminal Code to prohibit anyone from distributing donations made through the websites Freedom Convoy 2022 and Adopt a Truck campaign pages. And it says the order binds any and all parties with possession or control over these donations. Holy, what is going on here? I mean, just stripping it down to its bare bones, like just take the topic out of this. Can they actually do this? To my understanding, I guess I'm not a lawyer, but just breaking it down, what happened is this wasn't, let's just say, a court procedure where there's a plaintiff and a defendant. It's kind of like, I suppose, if a police officer wanted to get a warrant for an arrest, then all that happened was they went up to a judge saying, we feel, I guess, this is bad or whatever, so give us this, I guess, rule where we can block the funds. I guess the judge looks at it and is like, okay, I guess it sounds reasonable based on what you showed us, so here's your order. That is kind of crazy when I'm thinking about it in this case. And the organization responds saying this, know this, Canada has absolutely zero jurisdiction over how we manage our funds here at GiveSendGo. All funds for every campaign on GiveSendGo flow directly to the recipients of those campaigns. not least of which is the Freedom Convoy campaign. So it's one of those arguments of they're in a completely different jurisdiction, different laws, so it doesn't apply to them. But again, it just makes you think how crazy that is overall, isn't it? I mean, just imagine if it's any other topic, how could they do that if that's the right way to say it? I mean, I've seen others say protests, like say anti-racism, there were, I guess you could say there's some bad apples, but I've never seen this before. Just speaking for myself, my thought would be, okay, why don't you just talk to them? Listen to what they have to say, so to speak. To go to this extent, it makes me want to kind of research the topic more to say, hey, what's going on here? Because it almost reminds me of other things in life. Let's just say with drones, where you constantly give the bad, negative, fear-monger like a certain group of people to justify this and that. And I would say, well, where's all the voices of like those, like say, quote, people? Let's hear what they have to say. When you go through to this extent, it makes me a little, I guess, worried. Like, are they saying something that's, like, just say, I don't know, truthful or something like that? That's what I would think anyways, when you try that hard to suppress one side in that aspect. Especially when it doesn't completely, I guess, match from what I've seen personally anyways. Like walking around, this is not Ottawa here, but you guys saw it. It was people honking horns and so forth. I'm pretty sure, again, there may be bad apples and so forth, but I don't think that would represent what it is overall. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, whatever they're trying to do there. It's kind of crazy, again. Doesn't that make you worried just from a general standpoint? It doesn't matter what the topic is. I believe one of the arguments on why they don't want to speak to them is because they're saying they're doing something, quote, illegal, but at the same time, again, just based on history and stuff from my observation, in the past, there's been people that, did looting, they knocked down statues and stuff like that, and they still made, like, I don't know, comments or efforts to actually address the issue, like speaking, I guess, to the organizers, if that's what you want to say. So again, it makes me wonder what is going on here. Is there like some kind of big ego going on? We're saying, no, I can't do this because my way or the highway type of thing. And I thought about that too in terms of, for some reason, them not wanting to speak with them. I think one argument I heard is that, well, 90% of, let's just say, I don't know, truckers or something like that are all vaccinated. So it's just like 10%, a small minority of people who are against it. But to my understanding, a lot of people who are against it are, let's just say, vaccinated as well. And numbers don't mean anything without context. Because an example where numbers don't really mean much without context, think of it like a communist country, let's just say in China. You could argue, well, look, 90% of the citizens agree with what we're doing. And then look what happened like in Hong Kong, when you had people protest, what happens? You go to jail. I mean, does the numbers really add up in that sense in terms of it's a true reflection of how many people agree with the way things are run? Versus like they're just terrified where if they say anything or do anything, they'll have their rights and stuff stripped away, they'll go to jail. I mean, there's a huge difference. And that's why I'm not surprised personally why, from the sounds of it, a lot of people are saying, well, yeah, maybe they have a point, like talk to them or something like that. Alright, see you guys later.